following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ring and All of the Sports. My name's Leo Connors, I'm your host. This is being taped on December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Hope everybody's ready for their Christmas. We're going to be doing a hockey special, an NHL special. Tonight my guests are my son, Michael Connors, Matt Sayer, my future maybe, son-in-law, who knows, someday, who knows. But like I said, it's all about the NHL. Guys, Bruins this year.
Good.
Didn't look good from the start.
A slow start.
You know, you were saying earlier, I said Rask coming back is starting to play great was a big help, but you said
Seidenberg, and I think giving Chara a little bit of time, getting back from the injury, along with a couple of the young defensemen. But, it really improved a lot, I think, from last year to this year. Torrey Krug. On the power play, best power play in the league. They're running 29% this year.
Yeah, something like that.
I think that's huge. If they can keep that consistently going throughout the year, watch out, Canadians.
The Canadians are hurting right now with Carey Price out. It hurts me a lot just as much. I'm a Bruins fanatic, but I got Carey Price in fantasy hockey, and he was great at the start. 12 games started, 10 wins. But he hasn't been playing at all, so
I think it's important, not to cut you off. I think it's important that the Bruins really get all the points they can now, because like what you said, Carey Price is coming back. They're going to turn into the team that they did at the beginning of the season, try to stretch out that lead. So that's why the Winter Classic is important, which I'm going to.
Yeah, you're lucky. Lucky guy there.
I can't wait for that one.
Real quick before we get into anything else, Polito. How's that for you?
Where are you, bud?
All right, we love you though, but come on now. Maybe we can try another time.
Thanks for bailing.
Thanks for bailing. All right, so listen, we're going to go through the standings right now, the NHL. Any teams, before we get into that, any team that surprised you? Myself, Florida has surprised me. Matt had said earlier off the year that, the young kids they have. They do have a real young team. Vincent Trocheck, Brandon Perry. Ekblad. Obviously, Luongo's been pretty strong in net,
He looks like the guy we know all too well from Vancouver, right?
Well, luckily we were able to take care of him in that 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. But, as of right now, we got Montreal atop the Atlantic, with the 20 wins, 13 losses, with 3 overtime losses, with 43 points. The Bruins in Florida are right behind them with 42. Like I said, Florida has shocked me, and the Bruins coming back has kind of shocked me too. I really didn't see it. I didn't even see the Bruins making the playoffs, to be honest with you, before the season started.
A lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't. But, it's good to see. Even the Vetrano, Spooner, Hayes line, I think Hayes has been struggling a little bit. But the speed from Vetrano and Spooner, I think counteracts that, which is good to see. And they've been kicking in goals left and right, so that's really been helping.
Well, Pasternak, too, hasn't even been playing. Let's hopefully, if he comes back, if he can come back, you know what I mean, and stay healthy and produce.
We got to think about how Claude Julien's going to use him, though. So they're going to put him back on the power play, take Spooner off.
Right. Well, he didn't play much on he played a little bit, but he really didn't play a lot. Especially last year, I don't think he played at all on the power play last year. Then we got, after Florida, we got Detroit with 41 points, Ottawa with 40, followed by really surprising Tampa Bay with only 37 points. That's kind of shocking to me because I had them right near the top. Probably, if not at the top of the Atlantic, right behind Montreal. And
I think another team to look out for, too, is the Islanders.
Oh, yeah.
So the Islanders got that stud first line with Tavares. And then they also have the goaltending with Halak. And then they have a couple defensemen who can really move the biscuit.
Oh, yeah. So Leddy and Boychuk are incredible.
Exactly.
Incredible
and Boychuk's bomb on the point. It's huge in the playoffs.
Halak needs to play better. If Halak doesn't play better, then they're going nowhere.
I agree. But they do have 43 points.
Oh, yeah.
They're one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now.
Right.
what did he say? You need in the playoffs. You need goaltending.
Yeah.
You need a power play.
Yeah.
And you need some forechecking.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely. And the Islanders can do all three of those. They can.
Yeah.
If Halak stays healthy, look out. Really,
Yeah.
they have a good chance. Behind Tampa Bay, we got Buffalo and Toronto. They definitely aren't going to make the playoffs, either one of them.
Surprise.
We don't. Yeah, we really
It's not a surprise.
can't. You know, well, we can pass on, especially Toronto. I mean, when they cleaned house last year, you know, getting rid of Kessel and stuff. But we'll get to that too. That's another disappointing thing when we get to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
If I was a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, I would be real upset. But we'll move on to the Metro in the Eastern Conference, and they got the number one team in the Eastern Conference is the Washington Capitals, led by Alex Ovechkin, Nicholas Backstrom, and Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Say it 3 times fast, right?
Kuznetsov. He for a while he was leading the team in points.
Yeah.
But and Backstrom was out, but Backstrom's on a tear because he's now the leading point getter in Washington, and he missed at least 15 games.
Well, I think the head coach they put them back together. They put
Yeah.
Backstrom, Ovechkin,
Yeah.
and who else is playing with them now?
TJ Oshie.
TJ. Oh no,
Yeah.
he's on a hot streak too.
It's funny because you said that because I think it was the second to last game that Kuznetsov played with Ovechkin and Oshie.
So you got his name down
Yeah,
now.
he got 3 goals and 2 assists. He had 20-something points in fantasy. I would know that because he's on my team.
Of course he is.
You know, he's kind of gone downhill a little bit. Yeah. So right behind Washington, though, we got the Rangers and then the Islanders. The Rangers with 44 points. The Islanders with 43. The Rangers are a little surprising. They've been losing a lot lately.
Yeah. But
Excuse
Brassard's been keeping it going for them. So
Yeah, that
he's
Prasad,
on-
Zuccarello, Nash
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
right.
They're a good team. I actually wanted them to get to the finals last year, and they didn't make it. And I wanted it to be the Rangers and the Blackhawks. I was happy the Blackhawks won it last year, seeing the Bruins run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're another surprising team going forward. The Rangers are because they got Lundqvist. He has the potential to be the best goalie in the league, right next to Holtby.
Yeah, and Rand is a lot better than he's showing too. He
The
really
backup-
is. He
the
really is the
backup
backup.
goalie. Yeah.
And we were saying earlier too off the air that any team that wins the cup, you gotta have 2 goalies. You really do. I mean, I guess you don't have to if your number one goalie stays healthy. But what happens if he goes down?
Yeah, we saw it with the Bruins playoff championship run a couple of years ago with Thomas and Ross going back.
Yeah, if Thomas would have got hurt, we would have been all set.
Yeah, exactly.
would have been all set.
So you get that bounce back and forth, a little injury. He
Right.
comes in for a couple weeks and solves the problem. So.
Yeah, and then after the Islanders, we got New Jersey Devils with 39 points. Hanson, that's your team. I know that. Good luck. As of right now, I got to make in the playoffs. We're going to talk about that later. Then we got Philadelphia Flyers with 37 points. Up and down season for them so far.
Yeah.
They've looked great in games that, in some games they've looked great. Other games they look pitiful.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have the goaltending.
Not at all. Well, Steve
know?
Mason has played well in the past couple games, but I don't think he's going to be consistent throughout the
And what's the
whole
other?
year.
Nervith?
Yeah, Nervith.
Michael Nervith, forget
I
that.
don't see that either.
Me either. Now, the biggest disappointment so far for any team, if you're a fan of any certain team, it's got to be the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, yeah.
With 35 points. To have 2 or 3 of the best scorers in all of hockey and be all the way down in 6th place. Was it 6? Yep, 6th place with 35 points.
It's a shame.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Zatkov's got to be the goalie right now. That definitely doesn't help.
And then not only the point situation and how they're playing, but you had a legend go out and Pascal Dupuis.
Yeah.
So now
love
it's
him.
just adding insult to injury. What happened to him? He had to go out because he had blood clot.
Yeah,
Blood
he had that
clots,
problem
so-
last year too. Remember he had to sit out for a while.
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see the thing when they had honored him? He was standing outside,
Yeah.
like where the Zamboni will come in. He's crying and stuff. I was like, wow, I liked him.
That was nice. He was a good player, hard worker. He
4
reminded me
little
of-
kids too. He had his 4 little kids there,
Yeah.
his beautiful wife.
Well, that's why it's good that he stepped away.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk that when you have 4 little kids. playing,
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. And I think
Yeah.
he's made enough money too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really. And behind Pittsburgh, we got Carolina with 31 points and then Columbus with 29. Kind of like with Buffalo and Toronto. Do we really need to talk about them? I don't think so.
Push him on.
Exactly. Now, we're in the Western Conference. In the Central Division, we got Dallas as the best team in hockey right now with 54 points.
They look like the best team in hockey right now.
Yeah, and they can score.
Yeah.
You know,
and
Jamie Benn, Tyler Sagan, Spezza. You know what I mean?
And they still got Sharp.
Yeah.
Now in the
Thank you
and
for the trade,
and
by the way.
yeah, and now bringing up Klinberg.
Yeah.
Klinberg coming up. At one point, he led the NHL in assists.
Yeah.
He's in the running. He's one of my top guys for the Norris Trophy.
Right. He's one of the reasons why when Trevor Daley left, they really weren't worried about it. You know what I mean? They knew they had Klingberg.
Yeah.
You know?
And Goligoski, too.
Yeah, he's good, too.
looking
Alex is good.
He's looking very good. So, yeah, they're definitely a front runner in the West for sure.
And right behind Dallas, we got St. Louis with 46 points and then Chicago with 44. Both them teams are strong. St. Louis, Tarasenko.
The best.
Steen, yeah, unbelievable plays. And on defense with Peter Angelo and Shattenkirk, they got two top defensemen. Two, if you ask me, two number ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Tarasenko's goal last night against the Bruins was a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
Right?
he scores a lot of beauty,
right
doesn't
down,
he?
Yeah. Nice, low and hard right to Rath's blocker side.
Right. And after St. Louis, like I said, with 44 points to Chicago, Patrick Kane.
50 points. He's got the most points out of anybody right now. 50
You know,
points.
I hate to say it, but he should get into more trouble in the offseason. You know?
Yeah, well,
he's
he only, was it 28 games was the point streak that he ended at?
Yeah. That's
franchise,
incredible, huh?
Yeah, franchise record.
Yeah.
And I see him as the MVP going forward for the second half.
Well, we'll get to
too.
that.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to get to that. We'll touch base on that. We got to get through these standings so we can get on to other things. Then after Chicago, we got Minnesota with 42, Nashville with 40, Colorado with 35, and Winnipeg with 32. Winnipeg's definitely disappointed me a little bit. Their goaltender's not strong, but they have some good players.
They started off good.
Yeah.
They started off a little good, and now it shows that they don't want it anymore.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You're right with the forwards,
it.
though. They got Ladd, Wheeler, Stafford. They got some big boys up front.
Oh, yeah.
They can.
The big buff.
The buff, man.
Big buff.
Yeah, you got the buff one on the fantasy team.
Would you say
too.
Ladd,
Ladd,
Wheeler, and Brian Little?
And Brian Little,
Brian
too.
Little's a good player, too. We'll go over to the Pacific out in the Western Conference. We got L.A. leading the conference with 42 points. I knew that they would bounce back from what they had last year. It was definitely a disappointing season. You know, they made it to the playoffs and all that. But, you know, when you get to the Cup Finals a couple times in a couple of years, you know, and you didn't they win one?
They did.
They did. Well, they won two, right?
They won two.
They won two.
They won two.
To see them start the season, they didn't start too good last season. They definitely had an off season, if you ask me. But they bounced back. They got a great goaltender in Jonathan Quick. Who's the backup for LA right now?
Enroth?
Yeah.
Is it Jonas Enroth from
Yeah.
used to be with Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a bad backup, but he's
not
definitely
bad at
not
all.
one where I would want to count on to make a
run.
long run into the Cup Finals, to the Cup Finals.
You know, doing well, too, seeing a good bounce back, it's Lucic.
Yeah.
After leaving us, I mean, the tragedy that happened with his father and everything,
Yeah.
it's really good to see him bounce back. He has,
I'll
I
always
think,
be a Lucic.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, if you're a Boston fan, you're a Lucic fan.
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Behind LA, we got San Jose with 36 points, Vancouver with 35, and Arizona with 34. San Jose haven't really missed much in the net. Martin Jones is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. He was Boston Bruins for a minute. Actually, I'm sorry, 48 hours? Something like that. He wasn't with us very long. He never actually I don't even think he practiced with us, to be honest with you.
I wish he did.
Yeah, I hear you. But after Arizona, we got Calgary. Very disappointing season out there, out in Alberta, Canada.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
They were really good last
How many
year.
points
They
does
were-
Calgary have right now?
they got 34.
34.
34.
Yeah.
They can build on that. I mean, they're only 8 points out of first place in that Western Conference, the Pacific.
They've been picking it up a little bit, I think. Dougie Hamilton's starting to rise a little bit, and Gaudreau, who had another hat trick.
Yeah,
Last
Johnny
night he
Gaudreau.
had 2 hat tricks over the past 2 weeks.
Right.
So
And don't forget Sean Moynihan, too. He's another young, great player for Calgary.
Yeah, good point.
Then we got Edmonton with 32 points and Anaheim with 30, which is definitely
Anaheim's surprising.
Disappointing.
Wow.
It's
Getzlaff
disappointing.
one goal.
Yeah.
One open net goal all year.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
that's pretty
Yeah.
He
crazy.
needs to shoot more. He's not shooting.
No.
The whole team's really struggling right now from their
Second favorite
goaltending.
team, all the way at the bottom.
I mean, Frederick Anderson hasn't played well. Now they're giving
not at
Johnny
all.
Gibson a
Yeah.
look, which I think he's a stud, going 24 years old, won an Olympic medal.
He's been around for a little bit, but he never
Yeah.
played enough games. He's actually in the running for the Rookie of the Year. You know what I mean? He hasn't. I always thought he's been around for over 2 years. He played 2 years ago for a few games.
Yes, he did.
And then last year he played about 8.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to say it's 25 games or something like that, and then you're not in one season.
Well, they brought him up for the cup when they made their cup run 2 years ago.
Yes.
And he was supposed to be the second coming and kind of drifted off a little bit, but now they're trying to bring him back.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see what happens with Anaheim going forward.
Definitely. All right, so before we get into the NHL awards, let's do some playoff predictions. To be honest with you, I got my 8 teams in the East: Montreal, Washington, the Rangers, the Bruins, the Islanders. I think Tampa Bay is going to bounce back. Ottawa and Florida. In the West, I got Dallas, St. Louis, Chicago, Minnesota, LA, Nashville, Vancouver, and Arizona. Probably my pick for the finals will be Washington versus Dallas, and I think Washington's going to win it all. That's just my pick.
I like your prediction. I like St. Louis a lot, though. I like Washington coming out of the East. I like St. Louis coming out of the West. They got this 2 strong lines with Tarasenko. They got Backus center in the second line. And going forward, they're deep, like you talked about earlier in the show. We got Shattenkirk on defense, and then you got Jake Allen in net, with also a good backup depending on who's
Brian Elliott,
depending on who's going to play. The only thing that scares me about Washington is their past. As we know, Ovechkin gets to the playoffs. Is he going to come through this year? If Ovechkin comes through, I think they're a lock to win it all.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna go with the Rangers though.
Oh,
The Rangers and then Minnesota, because Minnesota just came out of nowhere in my eyes.
Well, Minnesota, they had a pretty decent team last year. When they picked up Devin Dubnyk last year, that whole team just turned around.
Oh, yeah.
And Dubnyk was struggling out in Edmonton, but we all know why. I mean, he had no team in front of him, no defense. I mean, look at, real quick about Edmonton, though, we're on the subject. Can you believe that Andrew Ference was the captain 2 years ago, and now he's a healthy scratch every game?
I can kind of believe it.
And I think it's sad, though.
It was like they don't know what they're doing.
He was slowing down a little bit.
He definitely was slowing down. He probably isn't the best in the top 6 defensive, but it is kind of sad to see. You know what I mean? Because, he at least he got a good contract out of it.
He did.
He got
paid.
Good 3-year contract. All right, let's go on. We're going to talk about the NHL year-end awards and, maybe some little predictions on this. Like Rookie of the Year, the Calder Memorial Trophy.
Just like saying a Russian hockey name.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, speaking of that, right now the leaders are like Chicago's Artemi Panarin.
Yep.
Arizona's got 2, Max Domi and Anthony Duclair. Detroit with Dylan Larkin. And then the last 2 were picked 1 and 2 in the draft this year. Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel. And they're actually at the bottom of that list. Kind of surprising. All the other guys in front of them. Panarin really shocked a lot of people. They didn't expect him to make the team. They thought they was going to send him back to the juniors even.
Yeah. Now he's on the best line in the NHL. Kane and Anisimov.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
He looks great. He's my front runner here to win it too.
Yeah, me too. I
got Dylan Larkin coming in second.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at, if McDavid didn't have the injury, I think he was probably a lock to win it with the pace he was on.
Yeah.
And then Eichel started off hot, but he's kind of slowed down a little bit. But he's looked good.
He has slowed down quite a bit. Max Domi, I like a lot. Out of the overall, all-around play, like on the ice, I like him the best. I don't think he's going to win the trophy. I'm not saying that, but just as an all-around play, he does it all.
He's gritty, too, like his pops.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to Has he dropped the gloves yet?
I don't think so.
Because his dad was an animal.
I did see him take the puck to the face one game and come back.
Ty Domi, what a tough guy.
I picked Larkin, though.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking Larkin, too. He's really good.
Hey, a 5-goal scoring streak. I think he's up to 15 goals now.
Already, huh?
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah. 21 plus minus.
Wow.
Yeah, he's tearing it up.
Wow. Coach of the Year, there's a few coaches. You got to throw Julian in the mix.
Yeah.
You got to throw him in. I mean, he's turned this team around. Like I said, with the play of Rask and Seidenberg and a bunch of others, but he really has. He's hung in there. They didn't even think he was going to be the coach. Remember going at the end of last season, everybody thought they were going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
They did, and I think he's allowed Krejci and Bergeron and Marchand the chance to really open up their style and play.
Yeah.
Just by, think about the Bruins, what do you think, a defensive team?
Right.
They're second in goals this year, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Along with the balanced defense of I think they're 12th now. So I think he deserves a couple votes. I don't think he's going to win it. because Dallas is running away with Ken Hitchcock.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great coach.
But he definitely deserves some votes. I would say.
And also you get Joel Quenneville with Chicago and Bruce Boudreau at Washington. But those are no surprises. I mean, those teams are all good, you know. But there really hasn't been a coach that's come from behind in this, like, for this award more than Julian.
Yeah, true.
You know. We're going to go over to the Norris Trophy for the top defenseman. As usual, Erik Karlsson's near the top of the list, highest point getter for any defenseman right now. But you talked about John Klingberg earlier.
Yeah, he's putting on a show.
For Dallas, he's definitely in the running for that.
Yep.
Shea Weber out in Nashville, Brett Burns in San Jose, and surprisingly, he hasn't played that well, but I know he will turn it on in the second half of the season. But PK Subban. Yeah, the kid's just, I hate him.
Just hearing his name.
I hate him, but you can't, you'd only sound like an idiot to sit there and say, he stinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's one of the best players.
Absolutely.
And another one, if I can throw another one in the mix, is Drew Doughty.
Oh, yeah.
He started to pick it up lately with LA moving up, and he plays all three zones, which I really think you need to win the Norris Trophy.
Right.
I know Karlsson won it last year, and he's pretty much.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Oh.
No, last year, I was just going to say after you said that, Duncan Keith won it last year.
Oh, wow.
And he's not even in the running, in my opinion, right now. He hasn't, he hasn't really.
He was hurt for
He was hurt for a while, so he could
yeah.
always turn it around and come back too. There's no doubt about that. But Karlsson had won 2 years in a row.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and then before that was Subban.
Yeah.
I know you hate him. We all hate him. We all hate him. It's all right, Mike.
I like his brother.
So what do you think, Karlsson?
I'm gonna say Shea Weber.
Shea Weber. Yeah, I know you love Shea Weber.
I'm going to say Karlsson, too. He has 38 points. He's on pace for 90-ish points throughout the year.
He's incredible.
For someone who has 90 points. Yeah.
But you know what I don't understand is real quick, because we got to get through these awards and stuff. Well, we only got a couple after this. He doesn't play very well defensively. He doesn't even play on the penalty kill.
No.
You know what I mean?
He's a liability out there on the penalty. He's not going to block shots.
So when he won the award a couple times, I was like kind of shocked, because I shouldn't have been shocked, because they've done it before, giving it to the guy with the most points. But I always thought a defenseman trophy should go. They should have a second defenseman trophy. You know what I mean? Like a Bobby Orr award for scoring.
I completely agree. The way the new NHL is going is they're putting more of an emphasis on scoring. So I really think they're trying to push the Norris Trophy on scoring defensemen. And like you said, I think there needs to be a second tier for the likes of that stay-at-home defenseman, like a Drew Doughty, who's going to cash in some points, but also play that penalty kill and block some shots and help the team win.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. The Vezina Trophy probably would have went to Carey Price if he would have stayed healthy.
How much does he love Carey Price?
I hate the Canadians, but I do love Carey Price. He's been on my pick them first 3 straight years in fantasy. I picked him with the 4th overall pick this year. But no, right now Braden Holtby is definitely the front runner. But you're going to have Lundqvist, Rask. He's got to be in the mix. Corey Crawford, he's not flashy, but he's solid. Yeah. You know, and then you got Jonathan Quick in LA. And Pekka Rinne's a great goalie, but his team's just not really helping him too much right now.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think Holtby's a runaway on my list. He's, they're in first place, best record. They're moving forward. But I also think Jake Allen, if he has a good second half, he could steal some votes.
He could easily turn it around.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And again, Brian Elliott, he plays so well. That's the thing too. Will he get as many starts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like really take over and have enough wins. Because when you got a tandem goaltender like that, just like in Dallas with Lettinen and Niemi, you don't know unless one of them just takes off.
Exactly. You got to run the hot keeper.
You got to,
especially
but
down
neither
the
one of
stretch.
those teams are doing that.
Yeah.
And I've seen too many teams this year not do that. I've seen a goalie get a shutout and not even play the next game, which I don't understand.
That's what's good that the Bruins do well. If Tuukka's running hot, they'll play Tuukka, and then they'll give Gustafsson spot starts here and there on back-to-back nights. But Julian runs his hot goalie.
Right, and that too though. Like when you have a clear number one goalie like in Montreal too, with Price and Rask in Boston, you will play them. But these other teams, they got 2 great goalies, which is good for a playoff run. In case anybody gets hurt.
Yeah. Definitely.
I like Holtby to win the Vezina.
What do you think, Mike?
I think Hobie too.
Holtby?
Yeah.
I think he'll run away here.
Yeah,
Taylor
so we got that, a
Holtby.
clear sweep for Braden Holtby with the Vezina. The Hart Trophy, the most valuable player. You said it earlier. Is there really, as of right now, for the first half of the season, which isn't over yet, but it will be soon, Patrick Kane.
Yep.
Patrick Kane.
And the only way I don't think he doesn't win it is unless he gets hurt.
Right.
And I think with Dallas, you got Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin who are going to steal votes from each other.
Yep.
And you also got Holtby there too, which you got to think about also. But you also have Ovechkin there, so I think Kane, just by the number of points he has, the show he's put on, the headlines he's been in, hands down.
Tarasenko, though, could always come up in there, too. What'd you say, 22 goals?
22 goals.
22
Tied
goals.
22 goals.
I think he just took over the lead last night, right?
really?
Or tied.
I think it's tied. Him and Jamie Benn tied for 22 goals.
Jamie Benn's an incredible hockey
I'm
player,
picking
too.
Kane, though. Kane, 21 goals, 29 assists, 50 points.
Yeah, as of right now, we got to go with Kane,
No brainer.
But I mean, look out for Tarasenko in the second half. And don't ever count out Ovi. I mean,
get hot.
really,
Yeah.
he's a hell of a hockey player.
It's surprising not to see on this list is Stamkos. Stamkos has had a little bit of a down year.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
Crosby, too, disappointing,
Absolutely. But yeah, in Washington, Ovechkin is obviously the leader, but Holtby will get some of those votes if he continues to play the way he does. So that, like you said, that may take away Ovechkin from getting up there. But yeah, I like Patrick Kane too to win it this year. Jamie Benn, like you said earlier, and Seguin.
Yeah.
Both of them guys, but they'll take votes away from each other too.
Yeah.
So unless one of them runs away with the scoring, I mean, Jamie Benn's been at the top of the score in the past 3 years.
And I think they're the best 1-2 punch in hockey.
Oh
Seguin and Benn.
Yeah, absolutely. We got so that pretty much covers it. But we're gonna do this again. We'll try to get Polito in here one more time. We'll give you one more chance there, Kevin. We miss you, that's for sure. That's about it, guys. From Matt Sayer, Mike Connors, I'm Leo Connors. For
Merry
Ringing All
Christmas.
Other Sports, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I don't know if I'm gonna have another show before the New Year. I'm not positive yet. Work's kind of crazy. But guys, thanks for watching. Love some feedback. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.